Good morning, I'm David Combe with the CBS AM debrief this Thursday, the 9th of December. Overnight market action. Europe we saw was slightly up. Let's just take a look at that now. 13 points to be precise, or 0.12%. Apparently this was mostly due to the financial sector getting some uplift. Most of the other sectors were either flat or down, including consumer discretionary stocks, which were also seen down. Europe had a bit of a mixed session. The rest of the US, including the S&P 500, up a little bit more, 0.37 was the figure, percent, and 0.41 for the NASDAQ, which has had a pretty good run of late. Looking down at some of the European bourses, the stocks 50 up 0.58, the FTSE down 0.24, the CAC up 0.56, and the DAX down 0.37. Spain up 1.55, and Milan up 140 rather. Stockholm up 0.29, down 0.29, and Switzerland up 0.71. Let's take a look at how the futures are suggesting our markets will open up. The Nikkei up 20, the Hang Seng down 384, and the S&P, rather the SPY 200, pointing up 19. Move on here and take a look at the commodities. In the energy sector, the big standout was natural gas, which was up just over or just under 5%, which was a great move. We did get out of that natural gas warrant apparently about a day or two soon. Always difficult with these things, and particularly when you have to take into consideration time decay, as we did with this being an option on the futures contract. Nonetheless, people taken quite a reasonable profit there on that trade, so we're pretty happy with that, all things considered. Moving on, West Texas down just 7 cents to $88.62. Now softs, cocoa was at $3,035 a tonne, and coffee at $204.65, and corn at $574.5. Cotton 131.95, and wheat at $784, sugar at $28.98, and soy at $1,296, oats at $3.98, rough price at $13.95.5, and copper well above $4 now, $4.11.45, and gold had risen a big sell-off last night, $13.82.5, and silver 28.34. Now the currencies: euros buying 1.3261 US dollars, the pound buying 1.5801 US dollars, and the US dollar was buying 84.0413 yen. The Aussie was buying 97.90 US dollars. The US dollar was buying 1.0108 Canadian dollars and 0.9864 Swiss francs. Take a look at our economic calendar. Already had a little bit of data out from Canada, which is housing starts. They've got a number of 187,000 versus 173 forecast, and the previous was 167, so got about 20,000 new dwellings there for November. Quite an impressive figure. The New Zealanders have kept their interest rates on hold at 3%. Then moving into later on this morning with Japanese GDP figures. Forecast is 4.1, actual previous rather was 3.9. So if we do see that number printed, that should be a reasonably good sign for Japan and its growth going forward. Later on this morning, we've got some local employment data out, and the forecast is for 5.2% unemployment, down from 5.4%. If we get a number like that, probably expect to see the Aussie dollar move up. Moving towards the conclusion of today, I've got some Japanese machine tool orders figures and some Eurozone German CPI data. Later on this evening, we've got a visible trade balance out of the UK, and the Brits will be deciding their Bank of England rates decision as well. Okay, let's take a look at the Falcon Trader here. Just having a look at the simulation account here. This was the selection of 4 or so stocks taken from VectorVest in the 3 markets of Hong Kong, Australia and the US. And it's tracking pretty well here. We're up about 10%, up 200 to 220 in the period since the end of October to the start of November, so about 5 weeks. So that's performing pretty well. Let's have a quick look at some of the other stocks here that we've been tracking. I think one of them certainly was Kingsgate. Seems to have been working pretty slowly, but is heading in the right direction here, which is nice to see. So we were looking at this $10 level as being very solid support. As mentioned, we've got the SPY suggesting an up open here. Still look to this 4,800 level as the top of our trading range, and the 4,600 level being key to the downside. And with the Aussie, we seem to have this sort of third shoulder of this head and shoulders formation that's formed up. We are now back on the high side of this inner upward trend line, which is a reasonably significant one. That certainly goes back to the middle of the year. And so we would, well, it'd be interesting to see if that level holds. It will be around this level here at 96.5 or so. And if it does easily come below that, then we're back. We've broken the trend again. Just looking for any other stocks that we've been talking about, and there's nothing here that stands out particularly. So I might leave it at that. And as always, thank you for your attention, and hope you found that worthwhile, and look forward to speaking again soon. Bye for now.